Focal settings activated. Bottom left side, the blue Protoss from Team NV. It is Creator. Wild swing of the wrist, the bottom of the left side, but then the opposite. There is a red Zerg fighting for the freaks. It is SOO. Heading to that ever so unpleasant the unnatural base. That probe making sure that happens here. SOO, a exciting player after all to see back on the scene here. A player that not too long ago we had a interview with him on the Reddits. I saw. I think it was with Crank. Was it with Crank? I believe it was. Well, anyway. It was quite interesting to see. SOO saying that he felt pretty good when he came back of his skill level overall. But at the same time, it felt like there was still a bit of a gap between him and the real top dogs of the scene right now. That's right, it is 0-0. The first game between these two right now. Creator making away with a bit of minerals in his pocket. The thieving probe. Sticking around, mocking those drones with the bit of minerals he's got now. Oh, is this your minerals? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. Oh, why is it in my pocket then? So he's trying the best to get it back, of course, but we know that is impossible. So, getting a probe killed instead, that would be a good price of reconciliation price, something like that. Stargate for Creator. As the Adept arrives in the, well, vicinity of both these bases. Making up his mind which way to go, I imagine. Main base looking okay, only 2 Zerglings there, but opting to just kind of scout around for the time being. Doesn't want to take unnecessary damage on this Adept. Goes in for a couple of kills right now. Doesn't get any. Great micro from SOO. On top of the pressing of those buttons. Pressing the buttons that needed to be pressed. Here's the first unit out of the Stargate, the Void Ray. Ready to wipe the floor with any scouting units of the flying kind, or the floating kind, I should say. So the Oracle will be the next in line for the production. About to be ready as well. We would hopefully see a couple of Spore Crawlers popping up on the production tab in the not too far distant future here for SOO. How many queens does he have overall? It is 4 of them. No Spore Crawlers. Still in that production. That is going to be a little bit late. Well, let's see how well his queens do on their own. He's gonna lose only 1 drone. That is surprisingly a small amount. Thought that was gonna be more, but yeah, SOO handling that with quite a bit of care. Quick pull away with his drones in combination with the queen from the main base coming to help out as well. And I suppose having the first queen, the initial queen, also in a good spot to start hitting the... Oh, hello. That's a surprise. Three drones going down by the hands of the Adepts. Fair enough. What was I talking about? Yeah, the initial queen also very well placed, of course, in, for SOO to poke away at that Oracle as soon as possible. Talking about Oracles being poked, this one may be poked a bit too much. Oh, wow, it gets out of there. That is crazy. That was a mission impossible escape right there. Circling's finding no success on the opposite side. Small run-bys, too small to have any effect for the time being. Let's create a overall trading a little bit better. And SOO only 4 workers ahead for the time being. Seemingly playing it a bit safe. Getting himself the Roach Warren here as well as a Spire. Plus 1 ranged weapon attacks as the Roach Warren is upgrading the Roach speed as also. We'll see how much he actually commits to flying units here initially. Or if he's gonna bank more of his money onto those Roaches. Later down the line, perhaps Hydralisk as well. We don't have any... No other tech yet. Am I crazy? No, I'm not. Okay, lovely. It's always good to have that verification. Circling run by, it's typical SOO. A random amount of Zerglings running in at a random time. Just seeing whether or not they can do something. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. This time it's more so on the don'ts scale. Fourth base for Creator looking pretty secure as well. Cancellation of a, I imagine, shield battery that it was. Won't keep him up at night. Going for the plus air weapons already. Also making Phoenix at this point in time, regardless of having the fleet beacon. Getting the Phoenix upgrade also, the ranged for the Phoenix. It's like he knows that there are going to be Mutalisks in the way. He does have himself a formidable amount of the... he just barely doesn't see. He has a formidable amount of the Void Rays, so perhaps this is his way to try and protect those Void Rays from a potential Mutalisk. And you know what? It turns out to have been the right choice. Coming in with these 2 Mutalisks, wondering, or sorry, the 2 Phoenix, wondering if the Mutalisk production is going to be cut short. But no, we just have more Mutalisk actually being added to that production tab. Well, there are 3 Phoenix being produced at a time. Looking at 5 Mutalisk. Yeah, that is just more and more Mutalisk. He is doubling down. He will want to have a taste of his own medicine. Oh, come on, get that boy. There you go. Is that gonna work? Just going more and more Mutalisk. He's adding in an infestation pit. He's adding in 2 infestation pits. I don't think that has any practical use. I think that's just a small lapse of judgment, right? Not realizing we made it already. Mutalisk trying to commit to a fight here, and well, I thought he would be waiting for the Infestors before he would take a fight. I don't think he made the connection just quite yet that there was this much Phoenix production, as well as the ranged upgrade for the Phoenix. So this is a rough one to cast, because, well, I mean, that was a lethal dose of just damage being taken by SOO. Trying to do a counter-attack, and there was a status ward there apparently also. This is going from bad to worse to, well, I mean, I didn't realize well, it could get this bad. If SOO wins this game, that would be wild. Imagine the Reddit posts. Oh dear. Oh dear. He would need to have quite a bit of clever play here. And perhaps his opponents also making quite some fatal mistakes. Corruptus is a strong unit. But we already have the 7 Void Rays available. No Archons whatsoever yet at this moment in time. And the Phoenix, I suppose the Phoenix aren't really able to do any economic damage necessarily. So SOO has been mining more. Well, uses the Zerglings there also without getting that Nexus. This unit loss stab is just absolutely brutal though. That is more than 10 times the amount of gas lost here. That's pretty ridiculous. More than 10 times the extra gas lost here by SOO. Well, this could be a start. This could be the start of a bit of retaliation. SOO finds himself with a good bunch of Zerglings onto the probes. Creator perhaps trying to clean up some of his own supplies so he can actually warp units in and defend against this. Meanwhile, he will be running forward. There is 3 Vipers available for SOO. Let's see how well he makes this exchange happen. Parasitic bomb will be having to be delivered onto these flying units, and then the Corruptors, hopefully for SOO, will be able to lure in all the interceptors into the main army. Then again, there is still the Prismatic Alignment, there is still the Archons there to consider also, and well, so far the Vipers shot out their Parasitic bombs. They are getting a fair amount of the Phoenix numbers. Ground army full created, definitely still a severe threat. That is going to increase in strength as time keeps going onwards, and SOO shoots down small quantities of air units. And that ground army may be the winning factor here for Creator overall. Even if this air army of SOO is looking quite formidable, it's still struggling to really clean house. Ooh, yeah, that's the Archon firepower right there. Immediately putting so many of those Corruptors into the orange. Ultralisk coming out on the field also trying their best to do something here, but they die quite quickly too. The high number of Stalkers here also available. And you still have those Void Rays. They do good damage against those armored units. There we go. GG is called. SOO has to tap out. Creator takes game number 1. Da-dum. Da-dum. Oh, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. The hatchery is in the ground. My man SOO going for a very quick hatch in order to make sure he gets it in a natural place. Gets it where he wants it. Doesn't want to be stuck between those 2 long distances, having to, you know, deal with those adepts running in and around all your places. What a massacre. Yeah, it really was a massacre. It really was. It's the Muta Massacre of 2022. Creator versus SOO. It was the 19th of May. We all thought we were watching some nice quality StarCraft. And then it happens. A massacre, the likes of which we've not seen before. It's as if he knew. It was kind of as if he knew, right? It was just like, you know what, let me just start making Phoenix here. And you know what, let's get Phoenix range with it as well. It's like, Oh, man. You didn't see the Spire. Maybe he extrapolated that information somehow in another way that I'm unfamiliar with. Like seeing the amount of gas geysers and the timing on the lair and not seeing anything else being produced but circling baneling. Maybe. Maybe. Something like that. Perhaps. But anyway. It definitely works out for Creator there. That is something that is undebatable. Completely undebatable. Okay. On the menu of the Stargate today, there is going to be an Oracle. And that Oracle will be quite well visible for the Overlords here. Unfortunate timing. Talking about unfortunate timings, there's 2 Adepts. How unfortunate is this timing going to be here for SOO? He looks to be struggling a little bit. Lost 3 of his precious little drones. That's where the bleeding stops though, but 3 drones for the 2 Adepts. I mean, it's... Take it or leave it. It's not 32 Mutalisk against, you know, 2 Phoenix. Those types of games, they put things back in perspective again, don't they? It's like this. Oh, you're going to get 4 drones with a single Oracle? Well, you know, it's not as bad as 32 Mutalisk to 2 Phoenix. Right? You can forgive a lot more after that. Even though it's not great. It's definitely not great. It's lost 7 workers in total right now. It's a rough start once again here for SOO. He's going to have to figure out a way to, well, find something to get himself back into this game. It's only a slight advantage here for Creator, but those slight advantages, when you're up against someone of Creator's caliber, who's been the perhaps new prodigy, right? The promised new talent for the Protoss race here, perhaps. Someone making waves. The GSL runner-up. Some people like to say that, you know what, he didn't win the tournament, so those accolades don't matter. I think that both these players would have something to say against that. Right, at least I hope I do. Or at least I hope they do, sorry. At least I hope, I guess. That's what I said. Oh, Oracle dead. This is a clean defense. There we go. Stops taking damage. Another Oracle in the main base. No, well, the main entry to the base. Another Oracle over here as well. Hey! Caught in a trap. That's rough. There for SOO. Unfortunate. Starting to climb back up in the overall drone numbers, but yeah, a lot of those numbers aren't mining. Those numbers are less important. And let's see. Okay, pretty quick with starting to mine again. Yep. Oh, a second to waste here for SOO, I want to say. Spire, quite quickly getting scouted. I'm not entirely convinced he clicked on that, though. For Creator's sake, I hope he has. Then again, he's already going across the map, so it might not even come into play here. That Spire Zerglings finding quite a bit unfortunate. Ooh, well, actually, never mind. Those Stalkers out of position. They don't have Blink, but the Zerglings around just barely not good enough. I was quite surprised to see all those 3 Stalkers move that freely, but it is what it is. Surround there wasn't proper enough. Those Queens, though, getting surrounded quite well by the force fields. That is working out, as you would imagine. The army supply looking absolutely terrifying right now if you would like to see SOO win this game. 35 still plummeting, so the Darkest, Immortal. Single Adept and a Sentry there as well to accompany them. Moral support, sometimes quite important. Has got himself another force field here as well if he manages to land it somewhere. I don't think he needs it necessarily. There it is. Pushing the biles. Doing a good job. Absolute panic now for SOO. Has to find a way to deal with this, and I'm not quite sure if he's gonna. Drones will have to be pulled, but he probably doesn't want to lose any drones to this. Probably feels like that might be one of his win conditions, to not lose any drones to this. Don't feel like I blame him for that thought, seeing how he already took quite a bit of economic damage earlier on. Then again, it's going to be the only way. There come the drones. A desperate attempt right now. It feels like the Biles landing on more drones than Protoss units, unfortunately. 19 of them fell. The Roaches and the Ravagers, the Queens, the whole Zerg shebang kind of going down with them. So War Prism is still standing mighty and proud. SOO is gonna have to figure out a way to win 3 games in a row, it feels like. These players are truly giving it their all, aren't they? They do not give up quickly. Game number 3. Man on match points, the Blue Protoss from Team NV. Is he going to take the clean sweep? Well, let's wait and see. We had that thought before and we were mistaken, but maybe this time around it is Creator. Bottom right side, is he going to go for that very quick hatchery once again? We'll have to wait and see what the future holds. Doesn't look like it. Alright, it is the Freaks, the Zerg, in the red, SOO. I feel like a lot of the foreigners really kind of became SOO fans because of the Home Story Cup tournaments, right? Where he would always be such a jolly guy, having a laugh with all the other players there, all the other people there. Trying his best, trying his hardest, and then just having fun with the whole thing that is going on around him. Sometimes a little lost in all the English that is going around, but always still finds himself having a good time, and it's nice to see. At least that's when, you know, my heart's opened up to becoming a SOO fan overall. That and his endless amounts of second place, you know, in all sorts of tournaments, in all sorts of places. That man truly was impeccable at becoming second in a tournament. He's got a bit of a way to go though before he has reclaimed that title. Or will reclaim that title. Rogue and Dark in the Korean scene overall already, of course, the Zerg opponents that he kind of has to measure himself against. And in the short interview I saw previously, it's yeah, it does seem like those, as well as Cyril and Reina, are the players that he is trying to keep figured out. Trying to catch up in skill towards. Alright, another Stargate out of Creator has served him pretty well so far. Ooh, actually cancelled after the Overlord. Got a bit of a look-see on it. Going for the Twilight Council straight up afterwards. Interesting choice. Let's see how long it's gonna take SOO to figure this out. With the Stalker here, denying the Overlord Scout. Maybe giving it away slightly, but at the same time, gonna be hard to really figure out for SOO what's gonna be happening here to him. Vortex Facility coming up as well as the Dark Shrine here. War Prism Dark Templars very likely to be coming into play at the same time. In my mind, right, if you cancel the Stargate, right, and then go for the Dark Shrine, isn't the response fairly similar to one another for the Zerg? Because in both of those cases, you kind of want to have a Spore Crawler at all your bases. You want to have a Queen at all your bases. I guess you don't make the Zerglings as much. But you already make a couple of Zerglings in order to deal with potential adapts and that type of pressure. Right? Still not an unlikely situation that 2 or 3 adepts come in, even if you do have a confirmation on the thingamajigs. In come those Spore Crawlers. Game's still saying, yeah, maybe SOO skipping those spores, and that's a fair point. He was doing that in the previous games. Well, at least the previous game, he was a little bit too slow with getting those, and had to pay the piper. Now, this War Prism being scouted out, that is a big tell. Immediate starting of the lair here. SOO is gonna try to get himself some overseers. Spore Crawler in the natural base is done. The third base, though, still exposed. That is where the trouble lies right now. The Zerglings trying to buy themselves some time here. And to keep those Dark Templars preoccupied and away from the drone line for the time being. The Spore Crawler now in the ground. And that is a very clean, efficient way of not letting any of your drones die. But he did let a lot of those Zerglings die. I guess not. It wasn't that clean or efficient, but you know, his drone count is good, and I think that is maybe here the most important part. He's got himself that third base. He's got himself stealth detection wherever he needs now. One Archon. Gets another drone. Zerglings here don't want to bite off too much that they can no longer chew. Dark Templars now. Actually, that should become another Archon here, I imagine. When he feels comfortable. There it is. The second Archon joining up with the first in the War Prism now. Finally providing that one-shot kill potential against drones. Will he be able to get any of those? Where did he go? There he is. Spore Crawler already in a very fine position. As well as the Overlord. The Overlord does fall after all, but you know, Queens now aware of where they are supposed to head towards. Circling harassment to just barely squeezing through there with a lot of those Zerglings. Wants to get the Stalker, doesn't manage to get him either. And yeah, that is already 36 Zerglings gone down for, what is it, 2 Adepts and a Probe. He's also lost the Queen, an Overlord, and 2 drones himself. He's having a rough time with it. But he may still be in an okay enough spot to hold on here. Right, that is enough roaches to force this Protoss army backwards. And we are still seeing 7 drones on the production tab, so I like that. So not just over-committing to army units here, seeing this small Protoss squad running across the map. Could be a way for SOO to lose this, of course. Overproducing those army units, anticipating an attack from the Protoss, and then just not having the economy anymore to really be a threat later down the line if the attack never arrives. Oh, hallucinated Phoenix, that's what it was. Yeah, we're just kind of going towards the later stage of this game. We're We're not seeing any Stargate play being attempted from Creator, though. It is very heavily reliant on the gateway style, it would appear. He's got himself Blink upgraded. He is able to make the Dark Templar as well, still, to provide the Archons. He's starting to get the Charge upgrade as well. And then single Immortal production from a robotics facility. That's about it. That's all the tech he wants to have at this stage right now. Trying to secure his third base. SOO, on the other hand, starting up the Hive tech. Grabbing a Spire as well. The Spire play could be a lot more beneficial this time around, as there are no 3-star Stargates just continuously producing Phoenix. Creep spread is starting to look quite well fed now as well with the creep tumors. Circling run by, unsuccessful to do much there. Getting pushed out by the smallest amount of Protoss units there, almost imaginable. Let's see. I don't know if you want to make this fight happen. That is way too many Archons for those Banelings to try and make the connections happen. Not enough Roach Ravager behind it to get rid of those Archons there in that situation. I'm a little bit surprised that SOO went for that fight. I guess it is the most open area before, you know, you get into these choke points. There's no Baneling drop attempted. That's unfortunately not going to be successful there. Creator intercepting it. At the same time, you don't have your creep spread there. You allow the Protoss to be in a pretty wide arc also. Circling run by. See what the success will be here. Doesn't look like too much will be achieved, unfortunately. So perhaps this attack right here once again. Nope. Okay. SOO reconsiders. I like that choice. Going for the Greatest Spire. He's just buying time for that Greatest Spire to finish up, right? That is what you want to try and win this game with. Get yourself the Brood Lords out. Just got to be careful of those Stalkers. They do have Blink. This is not the best fight here for Creator. A lot of the Archons kind of fighting on their lonesome. Now the rest of the army does commit. Still having a fairly positive trade here. Could have been even better, which is the scary part here for SOO. But yeah, he is now in a pinch. He is now in an official pinch. He's gonna get squashed here if he doesn't manage to grab some sort of an army together. Some sort of a threat. One Broodlord might not be enough. Stalkers on the 4th base. Looks like they are getting a lot more done than the circling run by at this point in time. But be careful of those circling run-bys, but to be fair, he has been able to deal with them quite handsomely. He's got some Archons swapping in, Zealots swapping in, Dark Templar swapping in, and blammo. Seems to be doing alright again. Circling attack on this Nexus is going to successfully rid the world of a Nexus, but the Protoss forces here. Ooh, those paintings! Nah, not getting the greatest success either. The one Broodlords. Will the one Broodlord stand? I don't think it will. There it goes down. GG is called. SOO falls down with it. This Creator takes a clean sweep 3-0 against SOO.